Hey everybody, welcome. My name is Bjorn, and today we're going to talk about post-concussion syndrome. So if you're here, I'm assuming you've had a knocked to the head or a family member or somebody that had knocked to the head. I'm telling you, it's not cool. Okay, so there's three parts to this presentation I'm going to do. One, I'm going to go over about 3 slides that talk about concussions and post-concussion syndrome. Third thing, I'm going to show some testimonies and stories of other people who have recovered using this treatment. Then I'm going to give you a solution, the treatment that I went through and many other people that have had their brain restored after concussions, TBI. I mean, all these different labels that doctors give when they don't know what's wrong with you and they don't know how to fix you. They just give you a bunch of medication and then they're like, okay, go on, get out of here. You're screwed up. There's nothing we can do. So there is something you can do. So be encouraged. I want you to leave this presentation and be like, you know what? Yeah, there's hope for me as well. They just need to rewire the brain, tweak it around a little bit, and then get a result. Let me see. Hope you guys can hear me all right. I got to get the microphone a little bit closer. All right, let's go ahead and get started, okay? So why most concussion treatments fall short is this. Most doctors recommend rest, hydration, and time, but that isn't enough. I'm going to show you why that is, okay? Many people are told you'll get better, you'll be better in a few weeks, but symptoms can last for months and sometimes years like they did for me. Standard scans, MRI, CT scans usually show nothing wrong, even when the brain is struggling to function. So you go to a doctor and they will do a brain scan, an MRI scan, CT scan, and that only shows the structure of the brain. It doesn't show whether how the brain is functioning. This is very important because the doctors will tell you, no, there's nothing wrong with you, but you know there's something wrong with you, okay? Because you have these weird neurological symptoms. Weird, bizarre stuff, light sensitivity. I had a sun sensitivity, body just shaking, everything just going crazy. And the doctors are like, well, they see nothing wrong with you. So just drink water, rest, and then over time you'll be fine. But if your brain has been rewired, okay, from from not being the way it's supposed to be to normal, let's say my shoulder is like this. If I go like this for 20 years, my brain will think this is normal positioning on my shoulder. So I got to pull it down and rewire my brain to be like, you know what, this is not normal. This is normal. Same thing with the brain. It gets stuck with light sensitivity, sound sensitivity, interpreting signals that are incorrect. So after you've had a knock to the head, sometimes you have multiple knocks to the head. It can might create really serious issues in the brain, and that's why the doctors they don't know what to do. They do their best. That's all they've been trained. They haven't gotten the training. They haven't found the technology that's there available to recover from this, and that's just very, very unfortunate. Anyways, post-concussion symptoms that linger even after a mild concussion, many experience. Okay, I'm going to show you a guy. He was 12 years old, had a mild concussion after a head injury, had all these crazy symptoms, right, from a mild injury, and you'll see how he recovered. So even after a mild concussion, many experience brain fog, memory issues, trouble concentrating, headaches, light sound sensitivity, eye strain, fatigue, dizziness, balance problems, anxiety, irritability, and depression. I mean, you get depressed. You go to a doctor and they say there's nothing wrong with you, and they give you a bunch of medication. You just get worse and worse and worse. You flood the brain with medication. Usually, the medication create more issues in the brain than the symptoms you came in with, because now you're flooding the brain, the areas that are functioning well. You're flooding them with medication, and the areas that are having issues, you only want to use targeted precision to go exactly to the area of the brain that is having issues, and that's what this therapy does. So the symptoms are real and they're a sign that the brain isn't working correctly. Okay. Even though structurally it looks fine, it's not working correctly because that is why you're having these symptoms. The missing piece, rewiring the brain. A concussion disrupts neural communication even without visible brain damage. Most treatments don't address the underlying signal disruption because they don't know anything about it. They just look at the brain. You have, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you had a head injury, blah, blah. Now, they don't know how to treat these things. They don't know what to look for. Now, true recovery happens when we help the brain rewire itself by restoring correct patterns of activity. Very, very key. You're just changing the brain back to communicate the way it's supposed to. Some areas may be too slow, too fast, all these different things, overcompensating. And I'll show you what that looks like on a brain map. So this is where tools like TDCS, transcranial direct current stimulation, come in, helping the brain reconnect and recover faster. All right, let's move on. So this is the story of JK, age 16, and she had a traumatic brain injury. And after this one, I believe, is the one with concussion. But she had after a car crash with her parents, she had a traumatic brain injury. I don't know if she actually knocked her head, but it can be caused because of neck injuries as well. But she had a traumatic brain injury. See, the eyes are all messed up. So how she's, doctor says, well, nothing we can do. but there is things you can do. After 6 weeks, she's back to normal. This is Madison. She's age 4, had 100 seizures a day, severe epilepsy, and after 1 week of treatment, the seizure rate dropped by 90%. Okay, so that's not amazing. I don't know what is. Now we have, I think this is RH, they call them, age 12, had a mild concussion from a bicycle accident. Following days, couldn't, leg pain, couldn't walk without assistance, and the doctors say that there's nothing wrong with him. Doctors are like, you know what? He's just attention seeking. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. And after 6 months of care, he's walking by himself. After 9 months care, he's back to normal. I'm telling you, sometimes it takes time, but there's nothing wrong with you. Your brain was is misfiring. So this is Sam had a severe neck injury. He's paraplegic and very, very serious. Told he had less than 1% chance of regaining any movement. After an intensive 6-week treatment plan, look at that. He's moving his leg. Just amazing. After 12 months, he's walking aided. There's walking aided as well. Now he's dancing his way to recovery. Amazing. And finally, against all odds, Sam is walking unaided. And this is, I think, after a year. Okay. So he's continuing to get better and better. This is the story of Ben, problem child, diagnosed with 3-year history of ADHD, dyslexia, all these different labels that the doctors gave him. And after a while, IFN identified they suffer from sensory confusion, not ADHD. That wasn't the issue, but that's what the doctors say when they don't know what to do for you. So after 12 months of treatments, he no longer suffers from anxiety and he's back to living a normal life. It's amazing. It's really, really amazing. So that's that. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Okay, so at BjornBrain.com, you can see all the information, all the videos, presentation I'm doing today. It's all there. I do these presentations every day. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, so talk to your doctor about everything I say. This is the place, IFN, Dr. Beck, where I was treated, and all these people you saw in the video. Dr. Randy Beck, home treatment available is over video call, which is why this is so amazing, and I tell everyone about it. So use promo code Bjorn to get a discount on your first treatment. I'm telling you, it's amazing. I spent hundreds of that, $250,000, okay, traveling to find the best doctors. First thing, they couldn't help me. Secondly, I just spent a bunch of money, and until I find Dr. Beck, and I can treat it in the comfort of my home, and you can too. And that is why it is amazing. You know, hotel 3 months in California, it's very, very expensive. Weeks in Germany, Canada, like all this stuff costs a lot of money, and we can't afford it. But now you can be treated at home. They send you the equipment, you put it on. It's amazing. I'm telling you. This is what I was in really bad shape, blindfolded, sound sensitivity, light sensitivity, whole body was shaking. I was in really, really bad shape. But as you can see now, I've come a long way. So it's the symptoms that they treat, it's not just concussion or post-concussion syndrome. It's all these different things, okay? Depression, fear, anxiety, addiction, any phobia, dyslexia, panic attacks, migraine, irritability. Like some of these things, the symptoms, you don't always know what they're from, but they're all related to the brain not functioning the way they're supposed to. Okay, so I'm going to show you how they deal with it. All right, so another thing with me is that the vagus nerve and C1 atlas was totally messed up. And because of that, it created a lot of weird symptoms in the stomach, like super bloated, just couldn't eat anything, could eat rice, that's all I could eat. So what happens is when the neck is messed up, sometimes like it was with me, or a concussion, it can affect the vagus nerve. And when it affects the vagus nerve, then you get all these weird symptoms. And you go to the doctor and they'll give you antacids, which they did with me, and it didn't help anything. It just, made it worse. And so you want to deal with the root issue, which is in the neck or in the brain, whatever the issue. So I'm saying a lot of people that have stomach issues, it's because of the vagus nerve, which is in the neck. That's one of the cranial nerves that's being pressed on when your neck is out of whack, which it was with me. Lyme disease didn't help either. You can read more about that. Bacterial infection in the brain totally messes with the wiring in the brain. Not cool. And then I tried traditional neurofeedback, LNs, TMS, bioresonance, laser. I mean, I tried everything. Hyperbaric, the heat of my body using hyperthermia up to 42.6 degrees. I'm telling you, man, I've done everything. And TDCS is the only thing, it's the best technology that's been developed now, available. And you can see me, they're functional. So the technology is not just TDCS by itself. It's these old brain hacks that they've been using at the Carrick Institute where they taught these that Dr. Beck worked at for 10 years. So he learned these hacks where they had a mirror up. This guy had a had a concussion and he wasn't able to lift his left arm. So they put a mirror covering his left arm and then had his right arm lifted while he's looking into the mirror. So his brain thinks that his left arm is being lifted, but he's using his right arm. He's hacking the brain. It's all these weird techniques. So Dr. Beck combines these weird techniques with cutting edge technologies, and that's where you get the best of the best. QED brain map. So Dr. Beck really got into this. One of the first ones to really get into this with people with illnesses like head injuries, and concussions. So he does a brain scan, and neurofeedback's been around forever. This is not neurofeedback, okay? Neurofeedback works for some people that have not had severe injuries. Some people have great benefits to help you focus and that kind of stuff. But if you do a brain scan, takes 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you do brain scan, and then you can see different brain map. And that's what you're looking at right here. You can see different colors. Some are red, some are red, some are blue, some are green. You want it to be green, but not everyone has all green, right? So red is too fast, blue is too slow, and you can interpret and you can learn how to interpret it. But Dr. Beck is the best in the world at doing this and then putting together a treatment plan. Like the most severe cases go to him because he is the best. He's considered the best, and his technique is fantastic. And that's why it's very like if you can go to a doctor, you want to go to the best, and you can be treated at home. So why would you not? Like it makes no sense not to go there. But it's not neurofeedback. It's totally different. Neurofeedback only works for some people for certain issues, but for issues like I had, didn't do a chance. They tried, but anyways, didn't work. So I found this will do. You can do a home treatment over a video call. Use my promo code, and you get a discount on it. And that's Dr. Beck in the corner right there, and he'll treat you. You do 18 sessions, and then you do a scan to see the improvements in the brain. So then you can go back to the brain scan, and he'll show you specifically how the colors are changing in the brain map. See if I can change back to that. You can see in the brain map, and then you change it. You see the changes, and you're like, oh, you start feeling better, and everything changes. It's just amazing. So Dr. Beck combines TDCS with multiple therapies, like I mentioned earlier. And the brain can change. It's not hardwired. It is possible for the brain to change, and it's just incredible. Transcranial direct current stimulation. What in the world is it? It's not shock therapy. Okay, not shock therapy. It's an emerging neuromodulation technique that provides a safe, low-cost, non-invasive means of modulating the brain. So it's just this little pad you put here, and then you press the button, and it sends small amounts of current through your brain. It's not shock therapy. It's not, you don't feel anything. A little bit of tingling if it's not wet enough, the pads, but it's that's all it is. And this has been around for decades. This is not something Dr. Beck came up with. This has been around forever. This is how DARPA hacked the science writer's brain and turned her into a sharpshooter because they stimulated the areas to help her focus better. And with the device on her head delivering electrical currents, AD went from a frustrated shooter to a skilled sniper. So this is the device. That's what it looks like. And so it's this combined with the techniques that I said earlier, which makes this treatment so incredibly powerful. This is DC also affects spinal neurons. And so if you had a neck injury, they'll send electricity through the brain to restore the function of the brain. Then they can rewire the brain. I'm telling you, it's amazing. People are paraplegic. I showed you a video. Somebody paraplegic, getting well. It's incredible. So this is somebody with ADHD, a brain map. And you can see there's very specific brain map for, so it's easy for them to notice, okay, this is some issues. So they'll go in, they'll break up that blue and get the brain to function the way it's supposed to. So it's very, very just, I'm not an expert interpreting it, but Dr. Beck and is, and you can say do a scan, and then they'll get to see your brain map. So the way it works is that you set up a call with the clinician, and then they answer all the questions you have. Then you do a scan in your town, which can't be done at home. So they'll just go to send you to some neurofeedback center that they'll connect with, and then the neurofeedback center in your town will send results to Dr. Beck. Okay, then he does his evaluation of it, and once you've done that, then you start doing the training, not the training, the session, 18 sessions, and then you do another scan at the location. So you do it at home, and that's how it works. I mean, it's easy. And the sessions are about 20, 25, 30 minutes each, and you do exercise every day. And it's amazing. I mean, at home, I'm telling you, it's really remarkable that this is available. Let me see. I wanted to show you as well. Yeah, you can go to my website. Let me pull up see if I have my website. Where I have some more information. Give me 1 second to find my website, and I'll pull it up so you can see it. Okay, here's my website, and I have a lot of information here about the different symptoms and the different issues, labels that people give. You can go to case studies. You can see all these case studies that are written, a lot of different mention whatever symptoms that you have. And then I have an FAQ here that I've done my best to answer as many questions as I can. And I try to answer every day. I try to answer a few questions. You can hear more about my story there. And then, yeah, how this works. So I'm telling you, it's amazing. It's the best treatment you're going to find. And for people with concussions, all you need to do is to figure out what is going on in the brain and then rewire it. Because let me see the brain map. If the brain map is all messed up, if your brain scan is all messed up and the different areas are not communicating, like Dr. Beck, he can't fix anything other than try to get your brain back to normal to where other people's brain is that don't have your symptoms. That's all he does. He tweaks your brain to bring it back to an area where yeah, people don't have those symptoms. And that's all it is. You see the different colors. Um, you want to have green, but some people then like a lot of us have a lot of red, a lot of blue, all these different things. So it's a pretty simple system, but the brain operates on electricity. So this makes sense. But doctors don't know that. They look at it, they don't understand. This is a software issue. It's not a hardware issue. Concussions are a software issue, and you got to understand that. So if you're going to fix it, you want to use electricity to go in there and use electricity to fix it. So it is possible. Be encouraged if you're struggling, if you're at issues, and the doctors say there's nothing wrong with you. I showed you the video of these other people with mild concussions that had severe sensory issues, couldn't even walk, all these things like I had too. So all these people struggling with that. All they did was do brain scan and they figured out, okay, this area is not communicating properly, or this is too fast or too slow. Let's tweak it. And then we watch to see what happens to symptoms. And usually the symptoms go away. It's amazing. Got to check it out. So at least call Dr. Beck. Here's some success stories. And use promo code Bjorn. It helps me out. And then you get a discount for it as well. He's in Australia. And so that's where the clinicians are at. But you just do everything over video. It's amazing. Just amazing. So if you have any questions, let me know. I had some questions here that I was going to go through. Give me a second. If I can find those. I had a question here. Nope, not there. Let's see where it is. Okay, here we go. What are the signs that your brain might be misfiring and what can you do about it? Any weird neurological symptoms that weren't there before. Sometimes it takes a while for you to be like, you know what? What's going on? Because you don't always notice it because the changes are often very slow, gradual changes. But your family might be like, dude, why are you wearing sunglasses all the time? Or why is your apartment completely black? Like what you do these things that just, unusual, or like you can't handle light or sound, or like there's just weird, unusual things that are happening. Anytime that's going on, that's when you know, hey, there's something not right here. And you do a brain scan and figure out what's going on to get the treatment. And then you see kind of the changes. So any neurological, like the doctors will say ADHD, they'll say functional neurological disorder, FND, which is popular label to give when they have no idea what's wrong with you. And that's why Dr. Beck is the best in the world to figure out what in the world is wrong and then how to restore it. So great question. And I hope this presentation kind of helped a little bit with that. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, let me know. You can contact me here. I'm on YouTube every day. So yeah, hope to hear from you if you have any questions. And be encouraged. It is possible to recover from post-concussion syndrome, okay? You're not the only one with these weird symptoms. You just got to go to the right place, to the people that know how to deal with it. And Dr. Beck, again, is the best in the world, 100%. You can read his story here. All the hardest cases go to him because he's been doing it the longest. He's been doing it the longest. Be able to read these brain maps and then tailor the treatment for each individual. So cool. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, let me know, and talk to you later. Bye.